Picked up this old Bobcat at the auction. We're going to try and do some paint work today, see how it turns out. I'll give you a little quick walk around. It's a Bobcat 530. And what I'm probably going to do is take off those panels that we got, take off this scoop, homemade scoop they made for the bucket, and then do a little paint work on it, see if we can get it to look a little bit better. Maybe it'll help me sell it quicker. So I can usually sell these things about twice as fast if they're clean, and we'll see kind of where we're at there. The first thing I'm going to do is take off the tires and wheels on each side and then paint in that little area, and then we'll test out some transfer paper to see if I can copy the decals on there and see if we can go from there. So first things first is to take off the tires and wheels. I'll let you know here in a minute how it turns out. Okay, let's get the floor jack here. Okay, so we got one of the tires off. They were definitely on there more than I thought, so they tend to get a little stuck, but let me show you here. It gets pretty messy sometimes behind here. Let me just roll this out of the way. So when I took this off of here, that's kind of what you end up checking out here. And it gets pretty dirty back there. So you definitely want to scrape all that stuff out. And do whatever you need to do to get it clean. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to scrape, wire brush, do all that stuff, and then I'll show you a video and see kind of where we end up. Okay, looks like I got most of this stuff scraped off. I'll have to kind of clean the rest around here, and then I'm gonna work on painting this bottom side here. So got it all scraped off over there. Checking for leaks. That's probably the best thing about getting this thing all cleaned off, is you can make sure there's no issues. There is a leak here, so I'll get a seal kit. And before I do spray any primer or anything like that, I got some transfer paper here, some sketch paper. Comes in a roll. I'm going to try that stuff out this time. I buy a lot of stickers for these Bobcats and stuff like that. So I'm going to test this thing out, see if I can make a template and just paint it on there. So basically I taped it on the back of there. You can see right through it. And I just took a little contracting pencil, scraped it on there, and then I'll cut that out and see if that works. If that works, it might save me some money. The sticker kit for this was 60 bucks. And I don't know if I want to go that route, but I'll probably do the one up here and then maybe the 530, and we'll see where we're at there. If it works out, I'll keep doing it that way. But yeah, it's pretty messy. That's just part of the giant pile of garbage that came off of there. So we'll see how these stickers turn out. I'll clean up this area, and then I'll get to painting this area right here. And then I'll work on the wheels and stuff before I put them back on. So, all right. Okay, so we got it cleaned up. We got it, let's see here. So we scraped it down here. We added a little bit of primer just on the really thick spots. I've got a little heat lamp here. Let me get that out of the way. A little bit of white primer. It doesn't matter if I get overspray on the black here, because I'll repaint that later. Same with the bucket here. And then we're just going to touch that up. I'm going to spray over it a little bit more. The stickers I'm also not worried about just yet, because I went over the top of it. Seemed to work pretty well. Let me show you here. That's one of the Bobcat sides. So I'll see if I can maybe take a copy of that and then cut that out, stick it back on there, and then I'll paint it on, which is probably the most inexpensive way to go. Couple things, a lot of dirt, kept coming off. I cleaned it about 5 times. And I'll have to do that to both sides. But for me, it's just easier to paint one side at a time in here. A lot of people would rather do the whole thing at once, but this is just the way it is for me. So I will continue to work on this white, and then I'll show you when we get to the next step here. Okay, so I got the white paint. I got a couple coats of that on there. Like I said before, not worried about overspray because the bucket, the cab, that plastic will come off. The bucket and the cab will be painted. I'm going to paint the orange later on. But this side turned out pretty well. Not too bad for in the garage, eh? And then I'll put the Bobcat stickers on, and then I'll kind of work my way around this thing. And hopefully we can get it to clean up pretty well. So shouldn't take too long, but I'll post some more videos as I get it done.